remember how much Mom loved music, particularly playing the piano. She was a very good pianist and would play for us when we were kids, play with us on parties. I took piano lessons, as did you. I never kept it up, but Jim, you picked it up when you were in college or young adult, and now you're the new mom. You're the great pianist at all the family parties.
I prefer to be called the new Uncle John.
Okay. My mom was Mary Houlihan. Most of her friends called her May. That's what she called herself. And she died in the past year in February when she was 90 years old. Both my mom and dad, they lived in the same neighborhood across the street from each other, so they knew each other casually when they were growing up.
She was the young kid who was 4 years younger than my father, so they knew who each other were. But when he got back from fighting in the South Pacific for 3 years, they dated and they got married in 1951.
We grew up in the Bronx, tight-knit family. There were 6, 2 younger ones, Tom and Pat. And then at the top of the chain, and myself and my brother Jack and Bill and my sister Mary.
We were a traditional family in the sense of those days, with a dad who worked full-time and a mom who primarily worked in the home as a caregiver. Education was a big memory because both my mom and dad were very well educated for the time. They both had gone to college and also had gone to graduate school.
My mother was the ultimate perfectionist. She was the valedictorian of her high school at Mount St. Vincent. She got a master's after college and was working as a social worker, but then got married, and in those days you didn't work and raise a family. When she was 56 years of age, and pretty much at that point, she decided that she wanted to go back and get a PhD. So while doing volunteer work at Sloan Kettering and Calvary, my mother went to Fordham University at Lincoln Center and ended up getting a PhD in social work.
Her thesis was about in-home care, health for the elderly, which was a strong hint for us that she didn't want to be put in a home. So she did volunteer work at Calvary. She was a Eucharistic minister. She did work at Mary Manning Walsh Home in Manhattan until, age caught up to her.
My mom came to be at Calvary in the last weeks of her life. She eventually had a stroke January of this past year, and at that time the doctors who caring for her said it's now time for her to be in hospice care because she only has a limited amount of time.
No one likes to see a loved one die, but when someone's lived a full life and they're in a lot of pain and not going to improve, then passing on is not such a horrific thing.
She was a caregiver of one kind or another all throughout her life. It was very important to her that the people she interacted with thought that they were getting humanistic care as well as top-notch care, and so she would have felt very, very good about the overall Calvary experience.
My mother felt there was a certain calm there. There was a calmness about the place, and her philosophy was that, basically every human being is special. Everyone deserves to be taken care of until the moment they leave this earth. So she said, if you're going at the hospice, if you're dying of cancer, go to Calvary. And she said that to everybody, bar none.
When I am in Calvary, I really feel like it's a holy place. I think it means a lot for the patients. I think it also means a lot for the families to know that when this is the final place, that if you're in Calvary, you're going to be treated in a very special way, extra special love and care.